I'm Mark Roos, New York City-based composer, and I'm currently working on writing for Blacklist, Murder One, Young and the Restless, Kardashians, Getting Coffee with Comedians with Jerry Seinfeld. And I do that with Cubase and with Wavelab. My setup here is all Steinberg. Everything that I have is tied in together. So I use the UR824 for my audio interface for all of my recording. I have it set up here, so 1 through 8. Everything is already wired. So all of the mics are all set up. They're ready to go. I never have to switch anything. All I have to do is just turn them on and hit the appropriate bus for the recording, and I'm ready to go. Otherwise, I'm using the continuous controller 121, and I also use the UR22 for an separate audio interface and the UR44 for my MIDI interface. And then I use the PD pad controller for all of my groove agent and drum-based patterns from Steinberg. How I got my start as a composer was I was in a band, the way a lot of people are, and I was writing music for a lot of commercials, locally based companies in Utah. And I got a call from the Pro Rodeo Association to ask me to write a spot for them. And I was quite young, and I didn't know anything, so I called my local music store and said, how much should I charge? And they said, well, why don't you charge $50? I thought that was a lot of money. And that was actually how I got my start. So I started using Cubase about 12 years ago when I read an article on Hans Zimmer that he had stated that he was using Cubase. And I thought, well, if he's using it, I should check it out. And so I did. And my first Cubase was about 12 years ago. It was a Cubase 3SX. So I used Cubase for all of my tracking, all of my recording, and all of my MIDI. And once I get done with that, then I pull it into Wavelab. Everything that I send out goes through Wavelab as a mastering. I have mastering presets on everything for Wavelab. It's amazing. That's what I use. The Steinberg engine, it just sounds amazing. There is an audible difference between the Steinberg sound and other DAWs, other competing DAWs. That I can actually tell what DAW has been used based off of just the sound. And with the Steinberg engine, it just sounds so much better. And I don't know what they've done, but my clients notice a difference. They love the way the stuff sounds. And it's gotten to the point where very often their workflow is sped up because I'm delivering to them exactly what they need. And there's no edits. There's not any boominess in the bass. There's nothing brittle about the way the highs are sounding, which is atrocious in digital. So really, Steinberg products are my secret weapon. The tools that Cubase and Steinberg has come up with are completely integrated. And so it makes my workflow so much faster and so much easier so that I'm able to actually focus on creating and delivering the very, very best products for my clients. Some of the tools that I use that all work together are, for example, Pad Shop Pro, which works seamlessly with Steinberg's Kaleidoscope, which is new in 9. And then I also use it with Halion 6. I have a sample library inside of the media bay of probably 300,000 sounds that are all organized and customized. I do a lot of field recording. And so I'm able to pull any of those into any of my projects, either directly into the project window, or I can pull them in to manipulate them in Pad Shop Pro or in Kaleidoscope. And very often I actually just do all of my editing of the waveform, specifically inside of the waveform, using the render function. I actually own and use every day all of Steinberg's add-on additional content. I have purchased every single thing that they have available that they make, and I use it every single day. Again, Steinberg is an integral part of my sound, and it is the reason why people keep coming back. So I had an opportunity to work with fellow composer Wayne Henkin on The Good Dinosaur Pixar film. We had to create character that had dialogue without using any words. We had to use all instruments. So we recorded a whole bunch of ancient old flutes in all kinds of different scenarios and situations based off of the film. Using Cubase's cycle recording, we were able to create an uninterrupted creative environment where Wayne was able to perform and record multiple takes of different situations for the character in the film so that we were able to deliver the emotional impact that was needed. So one thing that I do on a lot of my pop productions is that once I get the actual main keyboard part down, I go into the project window, go into chord track, create chord symbols, and then I create a different MIDI channel. And then I use that and actually create an accompaniment almost instantly that's piano based. Pan that off to the left at 75% off to the left, and all of a sudden I have this really, really full sound, and I didn't play one chord. So let me show you just really quick what the chord track is doing here. So here's my original piano. I'll just play this for you. Okay. Up here above is my chord track. Now the chord track, you can see, automatically takes and detects all of the chord changes that have been occurring in this MIDI piano track. Okay? What I've done is I've created an additional MIDI track, and I'm using the Grand 3 plugin here, and I've changed it so I'm actually using the Yamaha CP80 sound. And the reason I'm doing that, and I've assigned it for the chord track, is so that I can hear on a difference on a timbre basis what it's doing. So here's my piano. Now I'm going to add the chord track and bring it in for you. So you can hear. And then another really great thing that you can do with the chord track is that if you watch here, you have current chord display, and it will show and change according to what's happening inside of the MIDI editor, and I can change any of the chords on the chord track as well. So there's without the chord track. This is with it in. Then you can see how it actually goes in the whole production. Here's the chord track. This is the chord track out. So you can hear a big difference. That's one of the things that I use that makes my composition stand head and shoulders above the crowd. Some of the biggest challenges that I experience in writing music for television and for commercials is being able to understand exactly what the client wants. And that means I need to be quiet and I need to do a lot of listening. But once I actually hear what they're saying and also listen to what they're not saying, I'm able to use Cubase and Steinberg's products to deliver exactly what they want. And that is an awesome feeling.